Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen in distance learning land. Today, we're going to look at the substitution method for solving system of equations. Um, Probably, substitution method is one of my favorite ways to do it. I think it's about the easiest of the ways to do it. Graphing to me is a little time consuming, but for whatever reason, I just like the substitution method. Substitution method works best if one of your equations is already given to you in one of the solutions, one of the x or y's being solved for. So if we look at this one right here, y equals 3x plus 5, the y is already solved for. So it works very nicely. If it was x equals 3y plus 4, that one, the x is already solved for. Substitution method, again, would be a way I would probably think about solving that one at that point. Um, it doesn't have to be solved for. You can always wheedle your way through to making y or x the solved for already, and then you can proceed from there. But to me, again, it's one of the more easy ways to do the solution of a system of equation. But let's go ahead and walk through this one here. Um, Again, I've got y equals 3x plus 5, and then I've also got 4x plus 2y equals 30. Now, again, 4x plus 2y equals 30. Right away, not super easy to graph. So we'd have to do a little work to make that happen. Not that you couldn't do it. I think if you did go about graphing it, you would also find that it was a little bit, it's going to stretch your graph to probably the max of most graphs that are there. But anyway, for the substitution method, what we do is we look at this y. Now that y is 3x plus 5. If we look over here, there's also a y. Well, in a solution to a system of equations, this y and that y have to be the same thing. So if I take this 3x plus 5 and I shove it in there for that y, that is the substitution. And then we can run through the rest of the problem to find the x first. Once we know the x, we can find the y. So let's go ahead and do that. So if I have 4x plus the 2 here, then I plug in that y. So I'm going to plug in y, which is 3x plus 5. Again, 3x plus 5 over here gets plugged in for that y right there. Then it still equals 30. Now what I have to do is I have to make sure that I go through and I distribute that 2 on the 3x and the 2 on the 5. So I still have the 4x. 2 times 3x is 6x. 2 times 5 is 10. And then I still have that 30. I want to combine my like terms. So 4x and 6x is 10x plus 10 equals 30. I got to get the x by itself. So I'm going to subtract 10, subtract 10. Again, build your wall if that helps you to solve these. But taking away 10 here leaves me with 20. The 10 minus 10 goes away. And then I have 10x equals 20. So I divide off 10 there, divide off 10 there, and I get x equals 2. So if I want to go to my answer, again, the all-important answer down here at the bottom, 2 is my x, more than likely. Okay, so again, we'll check that at the end to make sure. But once I know the 2, what I can do is I can take that 2 and either plug it in here or plug it in here and find out what the y is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug it in here. So I have 4x plus 2y equals 30. I'm going to take the 2 for the x and plug it in. Again, my answer 2, plug it in for the x. So 4 times 2 plus 2y equals 30. That's 8 plus 2y equals 30. And then I'm going to take away 8 to get the y by itself. Take away 8. Again, build your wall. But 22, 30 minus 8 is 22, equals 2y. Divide off 2, divide off 2, and y equals 11. So if y equals 11, go over here. My answer is then the ordered pair 2, 11. Again, that's where the two lines would match up with each other. I'm trying to show you my lines. And then that point right in the middle where these lines are crossing, that would be that answer right there of 211. So we want to check it one more time to make sure it works. So I want to take the 2, plug it in here, take the 11, plug it in there, and see if it works. So 11 for the y equals 3 times 2 plus 5. Again, 2 is the x. 11 equals 6 plus 5. 11 equals 11. Boom. Once you know that you have the check there of 11 equals 11, you have the solution to the system of equations. Now, because yesterday's on the method that we looked at, the second method, the equal values method, that involved a y equals that was already there. I might suggest that you go back and try and solve that through substitution. See if you can do it. See if you get the same answers. If you do, man, you're all over this substitution. Again, I think it's one of the easier ways to do it. We are going to look at addition and subtraction here. They're another one of my favorites, but there has to be a special setup in the beginning for that one to work out. So again, if you have any questions, email me. You guys hopefully know what it is by now. tyrick@auhsd.net. Have a great day.